Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of the Racing Addicts podcast. We are Davidless this evening, but we are Alex and Mitch full tonight. So what's happening, man?
We're here. Hey, man, nothing too much. Just got back from Martinsville this morning, so fun weekend.
I bet that is still one of my favorite tracks.
Hands down.
Yeah,
it's fun.
It is like peak short track possible. So, well, let's just start with the Cup, and we're going to get through it. And I am going to try really hard to not be negative, and we're gonna bounce right through this and just get it done. No, I'm just kidding. No, I mean, what would you think? You start.
All right. Well, I mean, as far as the Cup race goes, I don't know. Okay. I don't think there was any improvements. I think from whatever we had talking about a year ago. Was the short track package implemented here? That was, I'm guessing, at Phoenix.
Yes. This was actually a short track package race, which I still think it's comical that we have to clarify that. But yes.
Yeah, I mean, it didn't seem like there was any improvements. And, when I was at the track they were qualified on Saturday, and those cars don't hit the chip, which was kind of weird. And for the people listening out there, when they hit the chip, like it's when it hits the rev limiters, like right before the corner.
Right, yeah.
But the trucks and Xfinity were they were hitting the chip right after the start finish line, and the Cup cars did not hit the chip at all. They were smooth and silent. And I don't know. Regardless of that, I just feel like maybe they're just not fast enough to make moves on each other. Yeah. I feel like setting up passes was a lot more difficult compared to what we saw in the trucks and Xfinity. I felt like it's just like it was a few years ago when Joey Logano was 30th, ended up taking 2 tires or staying out, and then led half the race on the same set of tires, which he did the same thing this year.
It's true.
Took 2 tires.
That is very true.
And stayed out and led all those laps. And it's so there's no tire fall off, as you can see. Yeah, he had something going down right before the stage end. That's 180 laps on one set. I mean, did we not realize what was good at Bristol, or were we afraid to do things with this Goodyear? There's just things that just never improved. And that's the reason why I didn't stay Sunday. I had a feeling it wasn't going to be that good of a race. And to be honest, my guy has not had a really good last few weeks. And why waste my money and watch someone run 3 laps down? So.
I mean, I have a hard time arguing with that. And I think what's frustrating is I was actually kind of confident going into today, because practice, it looked like we had tire fall off. And in the short 30 minutes, because it was 2 15-minute sessions, I saw rubber being laid. So I was actually positive. I thought, oh my gosh, this might actually be really good. And I was we might have some comers and goers. And then today, you're 100% right. I feel like we just saw what we've seen for the last 2.5 years now. And it's just frustrating. And there's a number of things that's frustrating about it for me. One is, like I just said at the opening, this is my favorite track. I think it's your favorite track too, right?
It is my favorite track. Yep.
Yeah. And it's
my favorite.
Really, Dale Jr. brought this up, and he's 100% right, but we're at risk of losing all of these tracks because they suck. The races just aren't good. And I saw so many people on Twitter today that are like, we just don't need to go to short tracks. And it hurt me so much inside, because I'm there's nothing wrong with the track. The track's incredible. I mean, we saw amazing racing there this weekend, and just not today. And it's just, I without sounding like a broken record, because you could pretty much take any of our previous podcasts and copy and paste, because it's the same conversation. And what's going to happen is NASCAR is going to come up with some other Band-Aid arrow fix that doesn't do anything. It's going to cost the teams another $500,000 to test the piece of crap. And then they're going to implement it, and nothing's actually going to change again, rather than just looking at actual things that are going to make a change, which is what the teams are advocating for. So it's one of those where it's just rinse and repeat. I guess this is where we are now. And it's sad, because North Wilkesboro's in a couple weeks. It's going to suck. We know it going into it. The Cup's going to be terrible. So I just like, what do you do? And that's where my heart breaks. Is like, I love these tracks and we have the potential to make them amazing, and we're just not. And NASCAR has been on a grow starting out this season. Like, they started with really, really amazing ratings, like all this energy, the Netflix special, whatever. And I think today probably just put the nail in the coffin on that, because Coda was like, Richmond was like, and then today was best case scenario, So I don't know.
Well,
that's where I'm at.
If it's the same viewers that like F1, to me, it was a little better than F1 either way. I mean, so maybe they'll still hang on, but
that's valid. That's a valid point.
That's my hope. But I don't think Martins, like you said, Martinsville's not the problem. The short tracks are not the problem. Maybe Richmond. I don't know. But Richmond really wasn't bad last week. I know it wasn't on last week's episode, but I didn't think Richmond was a bad race. I thought that was okay. But
no,
at least for Xfinity, it was really good. But yeah, I mean, like, we had a great weekend as far as trucks, Xfinity. They were A+ content. It was, people were able to do a lot of things with the cars, and it's just unfortunate the Cup cars are just different. It's not a stock car; it's an IMSA car. That's what it is.
And that's very accurate. Very accurate.
Yeah, and because Jim France owns IMSA, and that's what he wanted to do. He wanted to create this car to be like his series that he had, and because Brian France was, or whoever was before this, the coke addict, couldn't control himself. Yeah, he's a drug addict. That's all we know. He gave it to his brother, and Jim France is like, yeah, I like IMSA, and IMSA works, and that's what he wants. He doesn't care about what works. He cares about what he likes, and that's where we're at. So,
yeah,
it's unfortunate, but it's what it is.
Oh, and that you're 100% right. Small, quick positive note. I did tweet this. As a 12 fan, I was very proud of them today. I mean, you couldn't pass. Like, you just couldn't pass. Like, a good...
He passed everybody.
Who? What's that?
I was like, he passed everybody.
Yeah, and mostly pitch strategy, but still, like, there was... So, in fairness, the second groove finally started to appear with, like, 50 laps to go. And that was how the 12 was making all his moves, which was the same way he won the fall race last year. So... that was cool, and like really tough to pass. Really, 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 really tough to pass. Their pit crew dropped the ball, and to come back and finish top 5. And honestly, if he hadn't got stuck behind Chase Elliott in the last restart, he probably would have finished second or third. As a 12 fan, I was just very proud of that. That was a cool, like, grind it out, make the most of the day, and walk away with a good result. So that was my number. That was my only positive note from today.
Well, I mean, he did really good, and honestly, William Byron started 18th, and he was making moves. He was like lap 50. I'm like, he was the fastest car in the field, and I was like, man, at the time it was plus 800 odds. I was like, I was about to put $20 on him to win 160, and I didn't do it. And here he did. He won the race. Hey,
speaking of Hendrick, I don't know if you knew this, but today is actually the 40th anniversary of the first Hendrick win. I don't know if you knew that. It's
No, I didn't hear about it once on the broadcast at all. No, yeah, you're definitely right about that, man. It was, you heard it a lot, and my fantasy picks and everything were filled with them because we knew what was going to happen. So, 1, 2, 3.
Yeah. Hey, we didn't get a Hamlin win, so I'm happy.
Yeah.
Now, obviously,
yeah, you pitted.
Yeah. I don't know how he saw that working in his head, because there was tire fall off, but like, and you can't pass some. Like, what in the world? I mean, I guess his hope was everyone behind him would come, right? I guess that was the thought. And then you're at least starting like P4 or 5 with fresh tires, which makes a difference.
So, like, the whole race, we didn't have a single, like, bump and run caution. The Christopher Bell caution was like a self-spin, but his car was already broke.
Right.
And then we had a debris caution, and then we had, what do you call it? John Hunter blowing up in flames. So
yeah, exactly. That was it.
And it's just like there was that element I felt like that was missing too. Just that little attrition excitement, because it's Martinsville. Not that we want to root for Rex, but we would like to see some attrition.
Well, and I think, like, and again, it's the same thing we always talk about. Like, I want to see the best driver wheel the crap out of their car to get it done. And, like, you kind of want to see people, like, a little bit on the edge and, like, oh, are they going to make it work? And today it was just like, oh, left-hand turn, left-hand turn, left-hand turn. Oh, wait, sorry. downshift, left-hand turn, upshift, downshift, left-hand, and
Yeah.
so you're right.
Yeah.
And it's just kind of that. So yeah, you're right. There was no accidents, like accident.
No.
Well, except for the one on the last lap that Fox apparently, did you know there was an accident on the last lap?
No. I have no idea.
So RFK posted a picture on Twitter of Brad's car like destroyed. And I'm like,
Really?
yeah. And I'm looking at it and I'm like, when did that happen? And then underneath it, they tweeted the in-car video from Brad's car. There was like a 6-car pileup on the last lap.
Who was in it?
Austin Cindric, Brad Keselowski. I'm doing this off memory, so I'm probably not right. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. None of these names are really shocking, TBH. And then and like so Cindric's car is like junk, and then Brad finished, but the whole left side of his car is like annihilated. And I'm like, wow, the broadcast didn't even catch it.
I kind of want to see what the final results were because I thought nothing changed because they didn't mention a single peep about it.
Nothing. And I'm telling you, like, so go on
Barrett
Twitter,
involved?
yeah. Go check out RFK and Penske's Twitter because you'll see Cindric and Keselowski's car, and they're pretty jacked up.
Twitterless.
Oh, are you Twitterless again? All right, I'm proud.
Yeah, I'm Twitterless.
All right, well I'll pull it up while you're talking about your next topic so I can show it to you.
Yeah. Next topic.
So I mean, is there anything else to talk about today? I don't want to beat a dead horse, but I feel like
I mean, no, not really. I think I'm glad my pick was wrong. So I know I picked Denny Hamlin. So
thank you, Jesus.
Yeah, I mean, there's really nothing more to say. At least the sun was out and it was somewhat warm down in Martinsville, I guess. Safe travels home as well. It was pretty cool.
That's true. We are very glad for that. So, sorry, I thought this picture was closer. Maybe it wasn't Penske that tweeted. I will find it.
It's
so
all good.
You went down for trucks and Xfinity.
Yeah.
Do you want to start with trucks or do you want to start with Xfinity?
Well, I'll start with trucks. So we got down there. We left around 8:00, and we got down there around 2-ish. Stopped for lunch. But it was a pretty easy drive down. And once we got there, trucks were, they were pretty nice. I mean, they were pretty quick. They were running 19.4s. Cup was not running 19.4s at all.
Crazy.
At all weekend.
Dude, they were a full couple seconds under Cup cars.
I think Cup cars were running like 20.6s and about a second quicker. I mean, at least in qualifying, I think it might have like a half second off between trucks and Cup. But I think, even Xfinity was low 19s as well. I think Jones had a 19.6 or 19.5. But regardless of trucks, I mean, the action was good. I watched qualifying on as well on Friday, and it was crisp. It was cold. It was very cold.
It looked freaking cold, man. Like I saw the big
freezing.
parka jackets, and I'm like, dang.
Yeah, it was like both nights they were in the 30s, and I had thermal, and I had my heavy winter coat, gloves, a beanie, I had my sweatpants, and then I had jeans on top of it. I learned from Daytona not to freeze to death. That was pretty wicked.
Smart man. Smart man. That was cold too.
I was still cold with that stuff on. I was like, man, it's like 38 degrees. I should not be this cold. Like I'm from Pennsylvania. I should not be this cold. My dad was freezing, and I'm like, at least we saw a good race. I mean, the truck race was just phenomenal. I just think, I felt bad for Lane Riggs. He literally
me too,
wrecked.
dude. I was like, oh, yeah.
Dude, I was like, he got dumped 4 times. And Martinsville's a track that he's pretty good at. He races a lot of late model races there. It's a big late model event in September. I think I'm going to go to that. It's going to be a really good event on Saturday.
Is that Cars Tour, or is it like its own thing?
So it's the same car, but not the Cars Tour. Not sanctioned, but the Cars Tour. But it's a big race that weekend, and they get about 60 cars. On Friday, they do the heats and to get people qualified in. There's a last chance qualifier, I think, on Saturday. So it's a lot of carnage. It's a lot of attrition, a lot lot of good racing as well. A lot of bump and runs and tempers, and usually someone's pissing with somebody. So it's a pretty good time. Like any kind of typical truck, Xfinity, mod, late model race, ARCA if they would race there. Not Cup though.
Everything you look for in short track, right?
Right. But like, Christian Eckes, I mean, he took some risk on strategy there in the beginning. After the first stage, he ended up pitting. Same with Lane Riggs. That's when all the carnage happened. Like, I was afraid. I was like, when Lane Riggs decided to pit on stage 1, because you honestly can only pit once. You can pit once and make it to the end. It's a 150 lap race. Or no, It's a 200 lap race. And you can go 150 laps on a tank, they were saying. So a lot of people waited, like Majeski, I think he waited till like 80 or 90 to pit, like right before the stage 2 ended, to pit. And like, I don't know, like the carnage was crazy back there. People were all over the place. There were 3 wide battles, people moving each other. Daniel Dye, I think, wrecked basically everybody.
Well, he was the first Lane Riggs wreck, wasn't he? Didn't he?
He was one of them.
Yeah,
he was the first one. And
that's a real kick in the balls. I just got to say it. That's a real kick
Literally,
in the balls.
Yeah. Sharp kick. He has not learned. Well, I guess it's just one of his strengths, kicking balls, right?
Own what you can do. Hey, he's got to make it on the broadcast somehow.
I don't know where he gets his money. I just think it's ironic that his truck is like prevention suicide, where he's just wrecking everybody,
driving through everybody. Yeah,
like causing me depression watching Lane Riggs being done. Like, I appreciate it, dude. Appreciate the awareness.
Oh my gosh,
so bad to say, but my gosh, dude. And then like, it was a good race at the end. Like, Eckes literally needed that last caution there at the end for something for him to win. And I knew Majeski was in a bad spot there. I mean, that guy cannot catch a break. I feel like he's not doing bad this year, but as far as like when it comes to winning a race, because Vegas he had an issue, and like, I mean, he had speed, but he wasn't the fastest car. Like, Eckes was the fastest car, but he just played a different strategy and had a tire advantage at the end, which is just smart. He's really smart.
Cool. Yeah, I didn't get a chance to watch it. We had a social gathering, and I'm trying to be a good friend and not like sit and watch on my phone. But I was honestly a little bit bummed because I usually really enjoyed that race, but I watched the extended highlights to get an idea, and that's when I was like, freaking poor Lane Riggs got ran over, I think, by every single truck in the field. That was my big takeaway. Is I was like, oh my gosh, poor Lane.
I know. But he's all good. He's a jolly feller, so he'll be all right. He'll be around for a while. I think he'll get a win here this year. He just needs to make the playoffs. I think
so too.
Pretty good rides. Hopefully,
get a win. Well, and it was good to see him with speed too, because I know I think they started the year kind of off, and every week they kind of go up a couple notches. So it was kind of nice to see a little more. I mean, he's got the crappiest luck in the world too. Like, for sure. Like
he'll be in a good spot, and then like Coda, like he literally qualified top 6, never been there before. Not a road course guy. Like, he's literally a short track guy. Qualified like P6, was running top 5, top 4, and then his car just cut off on him. Like the battery broke.
Right. That's right. Yes.
So that happened. Daytona, he got in a wreck, and then remember like the damage clock. Like, his truck was fine, but he wasn't in the draft, and he like literally was too slow, I guess. But he didn't. I just didn't agree with that decision there because they had too many cautions and never really got up to speed, and it was stupid. But he's had speed, and I think IRP is one of his best tracks. He'll do really well there.
That feels like a very Lane Riggsy track too, so that'll be exciting.
Is.
Oh, and they're running Wilkesboro. And didn't Lane Riggs win a late? I mean, I think isn't that the one that he won, but then got DQ'd in the KHI car?
No, that was South Boston.
Okay. Man, I'm
South
tired.
Boston. It was a good race.
I'm getting information wrong.
No, you're good. But yeah, it was South Boston, and that was unfortunate because he's such a genuine guy. And then, but Butterbean won Wilkesboro, and he's going to be racing for Tricon that weekend, which is going to be awesome.
Yeah,
he's never raced a truck in his life. Like if the Cars Tour wasn't as hyped as it was because of new ownership, I don't think Butterbean would have a truck ride. He's not, I'm saying? I think
not at all.
Things are correlating. And look at look at Carson Quapple this past weekend. We want to jump right into Xfinity. I mean, holy crap.
Dude.
That dude, that's his first Xfinity start, and he looked like a veteran out there. Not just how fast he was, but the way he was maneuvering the race, the way he was managing his race.
Yep.
And when he had someone faster behind him, he didn't fight it. He was like, there you go. And just followed and learned past him. I mean, he was being so smart about his decisions.
Yeah.
And he's 18.
And he came home with a clean car. Like
he did.
Carson
He had
Quapple
no
on his
scratches.
first, yeah. Like
Yeah.
I am so freaking impressed with Carson Quapple because, like, going into the yesterday, honestly, in my head, I was like, all right, well, like a top 15 to me is a win because there's a lot to learn. Like, so my expectations were kind of low, and then to be competitive all race, not get involved in any incidents, and then finish P4. Am I right on that? P4? Like,
Yeah, I
that's
think so. Yeah.
in freaking sane. Like, and he outran two other JRM cars. Like,
Yeah, he looked way better than his dad.
yeah. Oh, wait, yeah. You're not wrong. Honestly, I think Carson's going to have a higher ceiling than Travis. And it's not an insult, but I mean, Ryan has a higher ceiling than Dave too, you know, like I think
far.
I think as a kid you have a benefit because you start where your dad kind of ended. So like you have such a better ceiling. So it's not, I don't think it's a diss. It just is what it is. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that means, I guess they invested their time wisely, I would say. I know, I forgot what I was going to say. Forget it. I forgot what I was going to say.
No, that's fine. And I was just, while you were doing that, I was just rolling back. Fun little fact. Justin Allgaier earned his 265th top 10 last night. Whatever.
That's insane. How many starts does he have? 265?
Probably. I mean, he's got a solid Xfinity career. He is one top 10 finish away from tying Kyle Busch. Now,
that's pretty good.
That's pretty impressive. Now, Kyle has a shorter career in the Xfinity series, but he's also Kyle Busch. So I think I don't even care the asterisk behind it. Anytime you can tie Kyle Busch on a stat, that's pretty awesome.
Oh, that is awesome. And that's good on Justin. I think he fits in that series very well. You don't want to race a cup car. I think it's good to be in the Xfinity series. And honestly, it was a great show. I mean, there was just
so good.
It was a good show overall. And from the back, I mean, from the back markers to the people up front, there are people passing, there's people moving each other a lot. I think every lap someone was getting hit. Every single lap there was somebody getting hit. Haley Deegan roughed around like crazy.
And finished 18th, right? 18th, 19th?
And
top 20.
Front end. She was 2 laps down, I think, in 36 at one point. I was like, man, I was, and then she ended up getting her car to the point where it can run top 20 like top 22. Didn't have a front end. It looked a lot worse than a lot of cars out there.
Dude, that thing was jacked.
We all know what happened. It was jacked, dude. And honestly, Brendan Poole's an idiot. He hates women, so that's probably why he decided to hit her. I just think a lot of guys in there wreck her because she's a woman. I just really think that's
I'm sure. And if it makes you feel better, he kind of got ripped apart on Twitter last night. Like, I was kind of impressed. Like, the Twitter mob kind of came in support of Haley last night. So
that's good because she literally didn't mean to rough up anybody.
No, and she stuck with it and just ran smart and got a top 20. So, like, I mean, obviously it's not what she's hoping for, but like, to me, I thought that was good for her credibility. Whatever. Last night, like I thought that was as good an ending as you could possibly expect. I'm going through my notes. So obviously you didn't get to hear the broadcast because you were at the race. I don't know if you caught this in Eric Almirola's interview on the front stretch, but what was funny is Blaney and Cindric were in the booth for the Xfinity race. And
I would have loved to hear that.
It was really funny. Like, they did an awesome job. And you know how, like, at the beginning of the race, they always cue in and, like, talk to somebody? They'll be like, hey, Kyle Larson, what do you think of your chances today or whatever? So Blaney called in to Almirola, and he asked, about what do you think you got to do to get the win tonight and all that? And Almirola responded, and then Blaney goes, I forget how he set it up, but he said something to the effect of, like, yeah, we did the same thing last year when we beat you with 25 to go here or something like that.
because he finished second.
Yeah.
I think he finished second in that race or something.
And like without missing a beat, Eric immediately snaps back and said, "Hey, yeah, I forgot to thank you for that. My whole family was there to see that race, and we all drove home crying. But I'm glad you got to or something like that." And it was so freaking funny. And like you could literally see Ryan like sliding out of the chair. It's like he just realized how awkward this whole thing got made. And then the fact that like Eric dominates the race, and then that's one thing he says in the front stretch interview was like, shout out to Blaney or whatever, who reminded me that I lost to him last year. Got the dub tonight, and I was like, yes.
That's funny.
I became an Eric Almirola fan last night. I was really happy for him. That was awesome.
He's a great guy. He's a genuine person, and I was happy to see it too. After last week, I was like, all right, so he's probably going to do pretty well at Martinsville next week. Not that I really thought that was one of his better tracks, but he can manage the race pretty well in his cars.
Oh, big time. And you already know JGR is going to be fast. Like, so you've got that on your side, and then it's like you take that with his experience. I thought Cole Custer was honestly going to be, I thought it was going to be the 20, the 7, and the 00. Double zero just never really had like winning speed last night.
No, but the last like 30 laps, we can just go right to there. I mean, literally when that caution came out and Eric lost the lead to Chandler and was honestly, I was like, all right, this is where, not that I didn't want to hope that this happened, but I was like, this is probably where Eric ends up choking. Like, this is like,
oh yeah,
will he respond to this? And
I mean, that was a good opportunity.
Chandler jumped that start.
Yeah.
And, but no one treated Chandler nice, which was awesome. And
he didn't treat anyone else nice. Like, honestly, they were racing him how he was racing them. Like, so that's where I was like, good on them.
Yeah. Like right before that caution, I think Sheldon Creed was trying to wreck the 81 because he was like shoving him out of the way as a teammate. It was so nasty, but
yeah, we might have to talk about that too. That was, there's some stuff there.
Yeah. I'm like, it's like, not that I was 100% focused on it, so I'm not sure if I saw the whole piece because I was kind of looking all over the place from the back.
That's fair.
What battles for the lucky dog? What's going on over here? Like, what's Deegan doing? What's Matty D doing? What's going on up front? And then I would see like, oh, Eric's up there. Like he was dominating for the most part until the end there, and then he lost it to like to Sam Mayer. Also took the lead, which I don't know how came out of nowhere.
Mayer was fast, dude. Like he came from 9 seconds back, I think. And then when we had that caution, I was like, oh my gosh, Mayer's going to win this race. Like I legit thought that was it. So, I mean, very impressive. Like I never would have put Sam Mayer. Yeah. So that was pretty cool. You brought up Sheldon Creed.
Sam almost won it. Yeah. What's up? Yeah. Let me know what happened with that. Because I'm kind of like.
So the 81 and him, I'm sure you saw pieces of this, but like they were just a little bit. Just driving each other like crap. And like, I didn't care because the 81 started it and the 18 just decided to continue it. So I was great with it because you know me, Chandler drives me absolutely up a freaking wall. I can't stand a guy that like drives like a complete tool for the whole race, runs into everybody and then goes, I just want to give the glory to God. I'm like, nah, this is you, bro. Honestly, the fact that Creed was giving it back, I was great with, but like, I really want to like Sheldon Creed. I really liked him in the Truck Series. And then at the end of the race, you saw the same Sheldon Creed we've seen for the last 2 years. Like, he had 0% chance of making that corner and just like throws the car in there, almost takes out the whole top 5. And I'm like, come on, man. Come on. So being in person, what did you think of that?
So ironically, I saw the part end of that. So is that when Chandler went all the way up to like the 4th lane?
Right. On the green white checkered is what I was talking about because it was right after the last green flag that the 18 like kind of got a run ? And then basically just didn't lift for the next corner, and then like slid sideways, bouncing at everyone 3 wide, and then it just the whole field stalled out.
Yeah, I mean, I did see him check up a lot. Was that before the last caution, or was it the one? Like, was it the
no? So that was the last run to the finish. Basically, it was
that was the last run. Okay,
So
the big wreck happened.
Yeah, it was right before the 98 ended up getting wrecked. Which,
yes,
by the way, we
was
also
a hard
did.
Hit.
Yeah, well, we didn't see that on TV either. I had to go to Twitter to see that. Yeah, so literally yeah, their replay was showing the 98 spin, and as soon as he spun, they just cut it. And then it wasn't.
Eric had a 2-car length lead at that point.
Yeah, I don't, because I saw it and I'm like, why was that even caution worthy on the last lap? Like, why don't you just finish it? And then on Twitter, I saw the video of was it the 43 and the 5, or the 5 sent the 43, I think, into the 98, and it was
they were
a hard
going at
hit.
it all race.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
43 was a menace too. I mean, he was out of control. 44 was out of control. Vanderpool, we already talked about that, but there's
for sure
a lot of people are out of control. Back from 10th to 23rd, it was like everybody hated each other. But that was a hard hit, man.
Yeah. It looked bad.
And actually, so a car actually caught on fire. I'm pretty sure the 98 was on fire, or the 9 was on fire.
Wait, the 9 was in that?
Yeah.
Oh.
Brandon Jones was destroyed. Yeah, he was part of it. They hit the wall. It was simultaneously, and you heard the hit. And I was like, holy crap.
I mean,
Eric's doing his burnouts, and they're over there getting cared.
Jeez. What a way to end it. But no, it was such a good race. And obviously, the broadcast just still sucks. I mean, again, things we've accepted, the next gen car on short tracks and NASCAR on Fox. I've just kind of written them off at this point. And I'm like, whatever. We just move forward. we enjoy life outside of it.
We just kind of just accept the fate, and if it's a good race, we'll cherish it and celebrate it. And if not, just kind of keep rolling.
It's just move forward. I think we just put sprinklers at North Wilkesboro and just let them run all night. I think that's the game plan. But
I think rain tires would be good. I think that'd be a little good visible action there.
Takes a little rubber off the surface, man. Or you know what I mean? Takes a little contact patch off the car. So I'm in. Hey, it's not going to make it worse. You know what I mean?
You know,
just saying.
Do you know what the ticket price is for that right now? Single day for a cup?
I didn't see single day. I saw weekend was still 380, 370, I think, for weekend. What's single day?
Lowest right now before fees is $170.
Man.
For an All-Star race, that's going to be single.
Yep. And
trucks are 75, which is I still would pay that. I paid 45 last year.
Yeah, I would totally do that. And again, I'm gonna not get on my soapbox, but this is avoidable. This is totally avoidable. This car,
it definitely is.
This car could have been fixed a year and a freaking half ago if we could have let some pride down, hired people that knew what they were doing. But yeah, and here we are, and it sucks because now again, what I just talked about with Martinsville, now North Wilkesboro is at risk again. Because this race is gonna suck. And honestly, here's what I kind of hope happens. I don't even care if you take the Cup Series away, but just keep bringing the trucks and Xfinity there. Bring them there twice a year.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Make it a double header with Xfinity and trucks and just have a good race,
Yeah. I think, I don't think they're going away. Martinsville will never go away because they're still going to have races there. And honestly, NASCAR owns the track, so they're not going to get rid of that. But,
well, that helps. That's a good point. Yeah.
Wilkesboro, it's not going to go anywhere. It's already in running condition. I'm still going to go to I'm going to go to their finale for the Cars Tour and Smart Mod Tour is going to be there and right the weekend before Martinsville, and I probably will do that over Martinsville unless I could take off the whole week. But then again, I might stay if I would. I might stay for that Sunday at Martinsville because it's the Final Four. It's the race before the Final Four, so you're bound to have some controversy. It's honestly a good race to end the season with for East Coast people because it's the end of October, it's right before winter. It's the last little taste of racing, and you're going to get a good show Friday night with the trucks. You're going to have a great show Saturday night with Xfinity. So Sunday, if you have a little bit of controversy, it's going to be a good show.
It might be enough to make up for it.
Right. And honestly, just I don't know. Just the last hurrah, I guess. Honestly, I'd be okay with coming home Sunday, honestly. I'd be okay.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I would almost rather just do that. And then Then we don't have to drive home Monday.
Honestly.
Like that's kind of I don't want to be there, but that's kind of where I'm at.
It honestly saved me like $200-$300 this weekend.
Well, that's true because you save an extra hotel too. So yeah, you're right. That saved you a lot. So
I mean like the weekend for me, I think it was free to see. Well, the Xfinity tickets. I'll say this, guys. If you got a NASCAR, if you have the app and you have an account, you should highly sign up for the fan rewards. My 2 tickets at the Saturday show was free, completely free for Xfinity.
Oh, that's dope.
You earn points and get tickets. And I'm almost at the point where I can get 2 more free Xfinity tickets. And then the time July hits, I could probably get 2 more truck tickets. So honestly, I could probably go Friday and Saturday for free in November. November this year or October. So if you have an account, I would highly suggest just checking in during the races and doing all the things. And you get a lot of points. You can get free tickets. So
better than credit card points, right, Mitch?
Oh yeah, no, this is way better than IPY interest rate. There ain't no interest rates with this. Okay, guys, you're sitting pretty now. This is where they do get you though. If you want to spend money at a NASCAR shop, you can get points for that. But honestly, what I do is like you can get points for buying other tickets for other races. So like if you go to like when I have Daytona, I got like 200 points for buying Xfinity tickets or a truck ticket. So you just got to show them the receipt if it doesn't go through, but it's not bad. And then honestly, if you're diligent with it, you can get yourself a free weekend, especially if it's driving distance, like Dover. If I waited instead of in Martinsville and did it for Dover, honestly, Dover would have been like basically free.
That's pretty cool. So yeah. And arguably the best race of the weekend a lot of times. So that's another W behind it. I don't think you got to see it, but we did have some really good sprint car racing this weekend. So I just wanted to kind of highlight that a little bit. So we had now this was not good, but we had a 10 car pileup to start the race at Port yesterday. Which was really dumb. Like it was really, really dumb. The cars on the front row just kept crowding each other, and they kept crowding to the point where another one torpedoed off the other one, went up in the air, and then no one else has anywhere to go. So, but ended up with a Danny
dust cloud too.
Well, so it was wet. It was really wet. So it was kind of single groovy, and I mean we've got 10 inches of rain in a week here, so I kind of figured it wasn't going to be great, but so I applied. The weather sucked all week. The weather was kind of ass Saturday. Support moved the start time up. They worked their butts off to try to get the race in. I love the effort. I think it's good to try. The race product was definitely it wasn't bad, but it wasn't great. But Danny Dietrich got the win, which is cool. That's the guy I root for, number 48. So that was exciting. I'm actually wearing my number 48 shirt.
There you go.
Yeah, today.
He's been doing well this year.
Exactly. Yeah, 2 wins already this season. So solid start for Double D. We had the Outlaws Friday and Saturday. Honestly, both races were awesome. Friday was at Route 36 Speedway or US 36 Speedway. It's 36 Speedway. And then last night, the name just went right out of my head, but they were both kind of bull ringy tracks and really, really good racing. Haudenschild won last night with gravel running P2, and then Friday night Haudenschild wrecked late in the race, and he didn't win. I forget who won, but anyway, just quick highlight. They were really good, and then today we had Lincoln, which I didn't get to watch because they didn't broadcast it, but
that was today. Why didn't they broadcast it?
I don't know. I've noticed Lincoln is hit and miss now. I
remember 2 years ago they came out with something where they have a part-time flow schedule to get people to go to the track.
I think that was the idea. Yeah. So, Dietz Chase won today at Lincoln, and again Danny Dietrich started 12th and got to the podium, so that was pretty cool. So, but yeah, I mean, really, Saturday was awesome. We had so much good racing. The first part of the weekend, sprint cars, Xfinity trucks, everything. I thought it was awesome. So it was a good. I'm taking the positives. It was a good weekend.
Now my question is, when what was the worst pile up, when Brandon Jones missed a shift and wrecked the whole field, front stretch of Martinsville, or the Port Royal wreck? Which one was worse?
Man, I don't know.
It was bad.
It was bad. Like both was bad, and especially because like neither one of them should be making the. So Halligan is the one who caused the accident on Saturday, and then obviously Brandon Jones is who caused the Xfinity wreck. I don't know. They were both pretty bad because they both were easily avoidable, and it was just. I mean, missed shifts happen. Like I guess I get that, but it's just.
Hey, Jimmy Johnson did that to Dover in like 2015
well, that's valid.
Or something like that. It was funny.
And he's basically the GOAT, so that's fair. All right, we'll give Brandon Jones a pass, but that was bad. Like, that was really bad. And AJ Allmendinger was freaking fast. Like, but he was collected. Yeah.
He was in that wreck.
He was destroyed.
Well, I was going to mention one thing about Martinsville. So, like, my dad should know this by now. My dad's been to a few of these races, and he's like, why are they taking forever to get the race to go green? He's like, get those stupid work trucks off the track. He's like, why are they out there? I said, Dad, they're just doing their thing. I was like, that's what they do. He goes, well, they don't need to be out there. I was like, yeah, they do. They got to blow off the track. He's like, well, they blown it off enough. We don't need to do this anymore. Like, let's get going. Like, he was getting all frustrated. That was just so funny. He's like, there's no cars on the track, but why are there safety trucks on the track? Like, before qualifying, I said, Dad, they just clean off the dust. Let them do their thing. Like,
that is actually hilarious. I kind of love that. Yeah. And that's so my wife was saying the same thing because she was ready to go and they just were taking forever to get that last restart today. And she's like, are they going to go? I'm like, I know. I feel the same way. I'm like, all right, let's clean it up. Let's go.
Yeah.
So picks. We had our picks from this weekend. We had David pick Martin Truex Jr., Nolan picked Joey Logano. I picked Alex Bowman, and you picked he who must not be named, Lord Voldy. And it looks like Nolan actually, unless I'm missing something, sixth place Joey Logano. So yeah, Bowman was P8, so that was second, and then Hamlin in 11th with the questionable late race pit stop, and Truex 18th.
If he stayed out, I would have won.
Yes, for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, I just didn't. I don't. I mean, I guess I get the strategy, but I also don't get the strategy. So, looking forward. Kyle Larson is still leading the points. Blaney's 5th. Hamlin's 3rd.
I think Truex was leading the points, or was that
You're right.
last week?
He was. So Larson jumped Truex. Yeah. So Larson is now leading the points. You are correct. So it's Larson, Truex, Hamlin, Byron. Now, obviously, in the playoff points, he's higher.
Oh man, what happened to Ty Gibbs? He was 2 points away.
He is in
Gibbs
7th
was
place.
literally second in points before Richmond. He was 2 points out, and now he's dropped, dude. He's literally was running 20th today.
Minus 55. And Joseph Logano is now 14th in points. Who was, he was 20-something 2 weeks ago. Like, so he's had an amazing 2 weeks in the point standings. So, I don't know that there's any other huge surprises here. I still think John Hunter's higher than I expected. Josh Berry showing some flashes of greatness. Todd Gilliland, same thing.
Yeah.
So
there's some promises with that. I mean, I don't know what's going on with the 7 car. I really don't know at this point.
Did they blow a tire today? I was trying to figure out what happened.
Well, I went upstairs to get food, and I was like, all right, we're 1 lap down. We're going to try to get the wave around here. And I came back down. I was like, why are we 4 laps down? What happened? And I read that the tire fell off, and it had to pit right before green. So I was like, wow, way to go, guys.
That's a pit crew error, right?
Yeah, and then last week, I think he hit the wall. I'm pretty sure he hit the wall and something broke.
Okay,
that's why he was off pace there.
Well, that makes sense because he was just bad at Richmond. Anchor dropped out.
Tracks, like Martinsville, he average finish with the 32 car was 18. And I was like, all right, we're going to be okay. Like we saw him in practice, like top 10 speeds,
Yeah.
like top 10 lap average, 20 lap average,
Yeah.
or 15 lap average. He was literally top 6. And he butchered it in qualifying. And then we it wasn't like easy to pass it today, but he was able to get to like 28th. We just had a long green flag run. And so he got a lap down. But at one point, when he was 3 laps down, he was running with like the people were in 22nd and 23rd. I was like, this sucks. Like he probably had a top 20 car, but once again, you can't fall behind on a weekend and make mistakes, and that's what he did. So
yeah,
we just got to learn from it.
And unfortunately, right now, I mean, again, like we've talked about, like qualifying is so freaking massive, just because like
it's huge.
Again, like a good run is passing like 3 or 4 cars. So when you're starting in the lower 20s, like you kind of just accept what your day is going to be, and it sucks. Like I still think it's dumb, and I still think that's fixable, but that's neither here nor there. That's where we're at, and we're moving forward. So we have Texas this week.
Your favorite track, your favorite. You love Texas. No. Hey, I like to bring this up every time I go to Texas. You remember Quinn Huff, right?
When he tried to pit from the spotter stand off turn 4.
Yep, and he caused Blaney a win.
I was, what a moment. Yeah. Man, drivers I do not miss seeing in the Cup Series, Quinn Huff.
Dude, he fell off the map. I don't know what he does anymore.
He's probably working at a McDonald's somewhere, and he's probably screwing that up too.
He's probably power washing trucks, I think, is what he used to do.
So what's funny, I follow, there's a girl that live tweets Blaney's radio during the races.
Yeah.
And I follow her, and then like I don't follow like all of her tweets, but every now and then I'll see them and I scan through. And at one point, because David Starr was getting lapped at one point, like every 20 laps.
Trash.
I mean, he was so slow. And as the 12 was coming up on him, Tim Fido goes, and wave hi to David Starr, and bye, David Starr.
Oh my gosh. That sounds about right.
I could totally hear him saying that too. Like when I read that, I legit laughed out loud. I was like, that's freaking hilarious. That's good. That's good. I love the chemistry in the 12 team right now. There's some good stuff. So
good.
Yeah, Texas. I mean, honestly, after having my heart ripped out and stomped on the last 2 weeks, I'm kind of excited to go to a race where I at least know what to expect. So that's a little bit where I'm at. Are you excited? Are you neutral? What are your thoughts rolling into Texas?
Well, it's kind of weird because I always felt like the trucks and Xfinity race pretty well at Texas. I know that the configuration isn't ideal, but I feel like the trucks always finish with maybe 12 trucks left. There's usually a disaster. I don't know I think they put that PJ stuff down in the resin. Xfinity, we've had some like close races. Remember when Noah Gragson choked it off of 4?
Yes.
Harrison Burton
won. Yeah, good catch.
Yep, we had that. And then we had when Cole Custer and Todd Reddick were racing for a championship. Reddick, I think, was going to win the race and got moved by Custer, or Custer was going to win the race and got moved by Reddick. One of the two. No, Reddick did not win because that year he won the championship. He won Daytona and Homestead. He only won in Florida, and he ended up winning the championship. Won the first race, got locked in, and then won the last one in the final 4 to win the championship. But there was some close race in there. So I'm not like a Debbie Downer this weekend. Since we accepted the fact that Texas is going to be a one-off, and I know it's not ideal, but it's going to be what it is. It's definitely the top 5 worst track on the circuit, but I'll admit that. But I do think that the 2 shows before will make up for whatever Sunday it may be.
That's fair. And I'm glad it's out of the playoffs. Like it has less pressure on it now. Now, if it's just like a mid race, you're like, okay, you know what I mean? Like it is what it is. It's in the spring.
I agree, but
hopefully it's warm.
When you watch them,
yeah.
But then like Fox Sports 1 will show an old Texas race like 2008, 2006 when like Casey Kane won. They're like they're ripping the top. They're ripping the bottom. You have Harvicking at the bottom. You have Greg Biffle doing his thing and you had that great finish with Brad and Jimmy Johnson and Jeff Gordon, a big fight at the pit road. I'm like, we don't see that anymore.
No.
I miss it.
Yeah.
I miss it. It was a top 3 track in NASCAR. Now it's a top 3 worst.
I 100% agree. Honestly, that was the worst thing they did this weekend too, because Race Hub was showing radioactive replays from Martinsville, like from tail end Gen 6 races, and I'm like, you should not be showing this right now.
Don't do it.
Yeah,
don't do it.
Because I forgot how good they were. Anyway, I'm not going back.
You're watching the Jeff Gordon one. Jeff Gordon win.
All of them. I watched like 8 of them, and they were fantastic. Because Anyway, I'm not going there. I have seen multiple rumors about events following this weekend to give me hope that maybe one of them is accurate. But the rumor is that after this weekend, Texas Motor Speedway is getting ripped up, and they are just basically going to redo it. Now, I've heard multiple. The one rumor was they're going to make another Atlanta, and I'm like, please no. Like let Atlanta be Atlanta. I like individuality. Atlanta right now is its own track.
Just go back to what the old configuration was. The same dynamic, the same degrees.
1,000% agree.
Go back to that.
Yep.
Just go back to that.
Well,
how hard is it to do?
And take your wins. So right now, this car sucks everywhere except intermediates. Great. You have a wall and a grandstands for an intermediate. Just make a good intermediate. And I would take basically your mold for Charlotte and just there you go. Now we have a second Charlotte in Fort Worth, Texas. And now you've activated that market better. And if it races like Charlotte does, we're in great shape. Because Charlotte's like one of the best Gen 7 tracks there is right now. So that is the rumor I'm hearing, and I'm 5% optimistic.
Well, now my hopes are up. So
sorry. So it's going to be my fault if those rumors are wrong. I know.
Well, I won't know. You would have to tell me. So, but that'd be awesome, man. I mean, that'd be pretty cool. I think probably Denny Hamlin got into Marcus's head.
Oh, yeah, yeah. That's a
we
solid
forgot
thing
to talk about that.
We did. Do we?
It's okay. I mean,
Denny's a tool. Silly. There's my covering it. Denny's still a tool.
It's Denny Hamlin.
Yeah.
It's funny because he makes progress, and then he does this thing where he does something really stupid.
Yep.
He does something on the track stupid, and he says something really stupid, and then he'll make some progress, and people start warming up to him, and then But when he talked about Marcus's dead dad, that's where the line I think should stop.
It was 1,000%.
I'm like, he's been dead.
Yeah.
We don't have to. I'm like, is this guy is Denny drunk? Is he on coke? What's he doing? What's he doing right now? Why is he saying this?
All of the above.
Did you hear? All of the above. Apparently Denny got mad because he has anger towards Marcus because he's ruining this whole charter thing. He's part of the issue with the charter system.
That
because he has conflict.
Makes so much more sense.
Why does Marcus have a say? Why? That's the question. Why does Marcus even have a say to even
he really should
talk about even have a say with? Yeah, he's not an owner. He's a track owner. What does that matter? What you let the owners figure out what the cars need. You don't know what the cars need. I mean, Denny had some truth with it. I mean, he's doing really dumb things with these tracks, but I get it. Got to test the limits and all, but.
Yeah, but I feel like they've done good stuff too because I look at the Atlanta repave and I feel like they're at a win right now. The track wasn't good, which I still loved it because there's a little an old diehard piece of me, so I still loved it. But I get it, so that's a win. Yeah. I look at what they've done with North Wilkesboro. I love everything they've done there. I hate that they had to repave, but obviously they had to repave. It was without choice. So I just don't want to criticize SMI.
And honestly, the Roval was it was a pretty good race with the old car. The old car
was great.
All this drama. I mean, remember the whole Jimmy Johnson thing and Martin Truex and the Harvick going in getting wrecked.
With the Chase Elliott thing.
And then you had turn one with Brad and remember the meme with the Xbox controller.
The controller is disconnected.
Right from the turn one, and I mean it's good stuff. I mean, it depends on the product really that comes to the track and what it will do. That's
Yeah.
really what the definitive answer is. But I get it. So you're right. He has done a lot, but yeah, I just think it's time to go back to Mile. But yeah, it was just a silly spat, and I kind of wish I had Twitter at the time because that would have been funny to read.
Yeah, it was. I woke up. So what's funny? Like I didn't see it live, obviously, but I just woke up and I'm trying to my eyes are groggy, so I'm just like, whoa. What the? And then I found the whole thread, and I'm like, the frick is going on here? So, yeah, that was because at first I thought it was a joke, and then by the third one, you're like, oh, this is very much not a joke. And then when you get to the basically your dad would be disappointed in you tweet, and I was like, oh, yeah, that's okay. I'm like, yeah, Denny's going for the jugular, yeah. Of course, props to Marcus for bringing up. What was it like? If you were a champion, maybe I'd respect your opinion more. Like that was like almost equal jugular. So but yeah, I don't know. It's this week has reminded me why I can't stand Denny Hamlin. Because all week, so he jumped the start clear as day. There's a line.
He did. Yeah, he definitely did.
There's a line painted on the track and another line, and you're supposed to go between those two lines, and he didn't. He went before that line. So it's a very black and white thing to me. And so to hear the whole week of oh, you're just blowing it out of proportion, and then Chris Gabehart goes on and, well, we don't want to officiate this because you're not going to like it. And it's like, dear God, if the situation was reversed, if the 19 would have jumped and won the race, do you know how many screenshots of SMT data we would have seen on Twitter this week from freaking Denny Hamlin and Chris Gabehart? So that...
Oh, yep.
Oh,
yep.
And I'm just like, can you just shut up? I can't stand this guy. And then when he started the beef with Marcus Smith, I was just like, thank you. Because there was a 5% of me, I think, starting to like Denny. And I'm like, good. I needed this week to remind me why I cannot stand Dennis Hamlin.
Don't fall into the devilish trap. I just remember Denny had his the tape in the eagle's mouth with the Pocono win.
Yeah, that was actually really funny. That was really funny.
What the heck?
Yeah.
This is not real. This is all a show at this point.
It's all a show. All a show. So back to Texas.
Texas.
I'm taking Kyle Larson. I guess I don't know, or William Byron. I don't even know. I think it's going to be a Chevy race. So I'm just going Willie B.
It's a crapshoot.
It is. I'm going to take Willie B because Kyle Larson feels like a layup. So your turn.
Yeah. Well, I hope it's Willie B.
That's true. He's like your second guy, kind of.
Yeah. So. Yeah, I was like, I really hope Willie B wins this race. When he was running his eighth, I was like, man, he's running the fastest laps on the track. I'm like, should I put money on him? I should have done it, but I didn't. Either way, I think you're right. I think it's going to be a very strong Chevy showing. This week, I was like, I think Blaney's pretty good at Texas. So I think I'm going to go with Blaney.
Ooh, I like that layup.
Because he's been solid recently.
He has. I feel like I just don't know what to expect from Ford. That's where there's a piece of me that's optimistic, and then that's fair. I mean, it's the top four Ford cars are the same every time. It's just a matter of what order they're in and what position they're in.
I mean, I don't know. I know you guys talk about the different aero bodies and things like that, but I don't know. Does it really play that much of a difference? That's my question. Because I really don't notice the difference. I just say, oh, that guy's fast. William Byron was solid on lap averages, but he qualified like crap. And I was like, okay, I guess, I mean, I don't know. I don't know.
It's a valid question because honestly, we're seeing a lot of 2023 in speeds because the only difference we're not seeing is the fact that Kevin Harvick retired because last year it was the 12, the 17, the 6, and the 4, and now it's the 22 has somewhat entered the chat, and then every now and then the 4 is there. Yeah, but honestly, it's still the 12. The 12, we had the meme the other week where it was We had the Office meme the other week where it was all three manufacturers pointing finger guns at each other, and it was Chevy logo, Toyota logo, 12. So it's the 12 is still leading the Ford parade, and which I'm a big fan of for obvious reasons. So yeah, I mean, you're right, because it's like, and then Toyotas were dominant at Richmond, which is like, where have we seen this before? So I mean, you bring up a really good point. It's like maybe things aren't that different. Although I did expect more performance from Ford today, just because Martinsville is typically a better track for them. But I mean, they did end up with 4 in the top 11, top 12. So like, honestly, maybe we're just on par with normal at this point.
I honestly just feel like it's just like setupness, to be honest. I mean, because I don't know, because like I feel like Hendrick was really like they really wanted to win this weekend. Like the reason behind it.
Oh, 1,000%.
There's a reason why those cars were
1,000%.
top 3. I guarantee they spent triple the amount of the budget just to make sure that all those cars had a shot at winning. With all the people there and all the media attention, that's the one thing they wanted. Yep. Like I said,
100%.
These owners don't care. They don't care if they lose money. They don't care. But they gotta realize how much are they going to lose depending on the race and what they value, right? And I know Hendrick, that was an important race. I think all those cars were all crisp, brand new, and probably had R&D out the wazoo.
1,000%. Which is one more reason why if I hear the phrase, we want to save the team's money one more time, I'm probably just going to start punching people.
Not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're not.
That's an excuse. That's all an excuse.
You're dealing with Rick Hendrick and Joe Gibbs, who apparently are already not making money. So, like, who freaking cares? Get the best car and the best package to put on the best race and shut up. I don't ever want to hear it ever again. I'm done with this because you're right.
Lame excuse.
Yeah. And this weekend was a great example. Unfortunately, Bowman taking up the rear for Hendrick, which is a shame because he was actually my pick. And after practice, he looked great.
I think he ran a great race. I don't think he was that bad. Top 10 is really good. I really think he ran deep. He'll be around. He'll win a race this year.
Yeah, I'm excited. We did have 4 Fords in the top 10. Sorry, I did just verify that. So yeah, you're right. I mean, we're probably holy crap. Tyler Reddick finished 7th. I don't think he was on the broadcast once today. I don't know that I saw the 45 car one time.
Well, I saw him getting almost lapped. He was like right before Ross, I think.
I wonder if there might have been some pit strategy there, which honestly I don't even care. Good for him. That's great. So, is there anything we missed? Final thoughts?
No, I think we're good.
I'd make David pick Denny Hamlin again, but I'm afraid he's going to win again. So David can pick Brad Keselowski, and no one's going to pick Chastain. So,
yeah, I mean, honestly, Brad could win here. I think Brad could honestly do it too.
Be cool.
Ross, he can win anywhere. Depends what the setup is, right?
It's all in the setup. We'll see what happens. So, another great weekend coming up. And by the way, Kenny finished P2 on Saturday. Super Sportsman's at BAPS. Forgot to mention that. So I think that was the last thing. There was something in my head. I couldn't remember what it was. I think that was the last thing. So
there it is.
Yep. Scott Dellinger got the W and strong second for Kenny, which is great. I mean, it's a great finish. It looked like I saw a clip. It looked like a decent battle for the win too. So very cool. But I think that's going to wrap us up. So we'll see y'all next week, and hopefully we got some more people. Nolan's driving tonight. And Katie and David are just feeling a little under the weather. So David was going to come, and then he was like, I just feel like crap. So hope the good family feels better, and hope all 4 of us are back together again next week.
For sure. Yeah, that'd be cool. And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. We got full-length videos on there. I know that's a big thing, so you can put that on your smart TV and watch us podcast away.
Likewise. Like, comment, subscribe, share with your friends. And we're happy to have you all here. Yeah. So have a good week. We'll see you all next week. Holla.
See you guys.